Alright, AOC is at it again, more minimum wage babbling. So she says croissants at LaGuardia are going for $7 a piece, yet some people think getting a whole hour of personal dedicated human labor for $15 is too expensive. And then she says, GOP taking every tweet so earnestly, making my point for me. It's not an argument against the price of a croissant, it's about the value of human worth. But I guess that idea is foreign to them since their policies treat people as disposable anyway. Okay, so she's making a big mistake here, first of all. It actually does have a bit to do with the price of the croissant, or any other product for that matter. People like AOC seem to think that the price you see on the menu, or the price you see on the price tag, is all you need to know about the product. Someone with an economics degree like AOC should know how ill-informed this is, but obviously she does not. The price tag is a culmination of the company having to buy raw materials, putting them under certain processes, assembling, manufacturing, or growing the product, putting it under quality control of some sort, figuring out the distribution points in the supply chains, and all of these things have costs associated with them that affect the final price. They also need to figure out the marketing and where their product will sell, right? You're not going to sell many space heaters in Miami, Florida, but the more north you go, the more likely you are to sell space heaters. That is extremely important information you need to know, and again, that all costs money. So for AOC to say something like, well, something costs X, and X is larger than Y, so why can't they pay people Y? That is ill-informed on a gargantuan scale, as I just demonstrated. This all ties also into profit margins, which she seems to fail to take into consideration at all. It is far too simplistic to simply look at a croissant being sold for $7 and think, hey, they just need to sell 2 of them, and they can pay almost $15 an hour to their employee. That is not how it works. There are very large costs associated with running a business and providing products. Only a small percentage of that $7 croissant is actual profit. Put very simply, if I buy something for $4 and I sell it for $5, I did not make $5. I only made 1, and I would not be able to pay someone a lot of money to sell that product for me for $5 if I'm buying it for $4, because my profit margin is very thin. So put simply, if I hire someone for $5 an hour, and they're going to sell that something for me for $5 per unit, and I have to spend $4 to acquire 1 unit, they need to sell at least 5 units in an hour for me to just break even, right? It cost me $20 for the 5 units, since I spent $4 on each unit. Then I have to pay them $5 for an hour of labor. So the $20 I spent on the units plus the $5 of wages I gave the person for an hour means I am just breaking even. And they need to sell more than 5 an hour for me to make some profit, for me to expand or acquire or replace or repair equipment or market my product, etc. So this tweet from AOC is simply a frightening display of ignorance from someone who is in Congress. But furthermore, I want to mention another thing she said. It's what she claimed was at the heart of her point. She said that this is about human worth. Okay, it is not about human worth. A human being, or a human life, is priceless. But a human being handing you a croissant for the correct amount of money is not priceless. There is a price associated to that, and given that it is an extremely low-skilled, no-education-required type of job, that wage is not too high since, frankly, you could probably manage to teach a 10-year-old to do it effectively. That may seem harsh, and I'm not trying to denigrate any low-skilled workers, but that is the reality. And if AOC wants to impose her idea of human worth on simple, menial, low-skilled jobs and increase those wages based off of their worth as a human being and not off the simple task that they are performing, okay, fine, but you had better be prepared to kiss those jobs goodbye very soon. I mean, for example, the little fake business I just talked about. If I was paying the person $5 an hour, but AOC comes by and says their human worth is more than that, and I now must pay them $10 an hour, the business would likely be dead very soon. And the employee will now be making $0 an hour, or my customers will have to pay a higher price for what I'm selling. Or one other option, as I said before, my employee would have to sell 5 units an hour to break even. But that just would not cut it anymore with a minimum wage increase. You would better sell more than 10 an hour for this to work. Less than every 6 minutes, you would better sell at least 1 unit. Otherwise, whether I like it or not, this is just not going to work, and now we are all out of a job. You know, I know, reality sucks sometimes, but if we ignore it, it's gonna suck even more. But that is all for now. You all have a good one.